Hi, all. Goddess Renata here. Open Intuitive Circle Wednesday at Crystal Spirit Spiritual Center. It's been a busy day. Interesting. How's everybody doing? I'll have to show you my outfit. I'm being a fairy godmother today. Fairy godmother energy. Yay. Wait, I got my high tops on too. Oh, can't go that far. High top. Oh, dear. Don't be trying to lift up the right leg and the left leg is not really steady. That's not good. I'll just show you a picture of what I got on after we're done having our little open intuitive discussion. But isn't this cool, a neck piece? My Georgie created that for me. This is off of a hat. This was my black Buddha that I got. And we just did it on some stuff, fun thing. A little magic wand. All right. Anyhow, we've got all that going on. So there's some very intense planetary configurations happening, and I don't tend to follow the astrology as much, but I am linked into a few different people that do, as well as people that follow human design. So I get the newsletters and I cruise through it, and then I use that information and reflect on how that may have impacted my day, my week, my month. But I'm not going to it right away and letting that dictate how things are for me. There definitely are some things imbued in our DNA and some of the astrological influences. I follow that. Do I live by prescription for that? Absolutely not. Nor do I tend to live on the fly either. So, grounding all of our wisdom from all incarnations and using that as a base, as a platform that we create the new energy from for this new earth that we are creating with each breath and each thought. It definitely is not our mother and father's planet. Wasn't there a car commercial that said that? It's definitely not our mother and father's car. I don't remember what that car was, but it was actually a very clever marketing campaign. Point as well as we are all a clever marketing campaign. It's a way to look at it, isn't it? So earlier today, when I came in, I pulled several cards from a few different decks to chat. And I usually look at them, sometimes I look at them beforehand. I didn't get an opportunity to do that because I was busy. So let's go ahead and do our collective reading. So, how I like to work is whatever has been happening with me and whatever I've become aware of, meaning bridge that, healed that, humbled by that, awareness. Once I have awareness about a situation that has come to me and through me for transmutation, I ripple that back out into the collective. All of us do that. That's just how I say that it happens. My learned lessons and wisdoms, by my presence, I ripple that back out into the collective. I'm talking to myself and you as if you are the awakened collective. We have our human collective and we have our awakened collective. There's no spiritual hierarchy there, just a statement of what I've observed. When we have awareness and we're willing to look at that, some call that inner child work, some call that shadow work, some call that paying attention, some call that spiritual work. Connection to source, God, all that is. However you frame that claim that. I'm very fond of saying you're it in a bag of chips. But that means you're the sandwich the way you like it, with mayonnaise, without mayonnaise, with mustard, without mustard, lettuce, without lettuce, tomatoes, without tomatoes. See what I'm saying? You get to make up the whole idea of what it is you put on your plate. Make it a tasty delight. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, since I can see the first two of hearts, let's go ahead and talk about the two of hearts. So hearts are about heart energy, but the two is about unifying. So in the collective, the idea of unifying the heart energy, the things that speak of compassion or the things that speak of a lack of compassion, and because it's a two, it pretty much just evolves around me and you, or you and you, right? 1, 2, me and you. 3, 4, open the door. 5, 6, magic sticks. 7, 8, raise that gate. 9, 10, we all win. What a glorious place this will be when we all willingly get off the wheel of conflict. I can observe in my life that sometimes I just like to complain and bitch about things. I have a disposition from time to time that allows me to look at what's not happening and sometimes neglect to appreciate what is happening, which in my book would probably cancel out the what's not happening. However, sometimes in this make light, make love, keep things light and breezy, my disposition in life has always been to develop my own philosophy. And so I tend to take things apart. I tend to bring them inside and look at them maybe too long. And I may have some ongoing dialogue about things. When that was actually pointed out to me, I thought, well, yeah, that would be true. I do tend to do that. So instead of dissing myself, I embrace the fact that I do that. And may I always have complete clarity is the tagline with that. But willingly getting off the wheel of conflict, or willingly, for me, getting off the wheel of, I'm right and you're wrong. And a lot of the deep lessons I have these days at 68 come through the relationship with my husband, George. He's so mellow. And sometimes I just want to nail him for being mellow when he really is just harmonious on the inside and he just does not relate to any sort of squabble. Although, it is what it is. So I chose and I'm choosing to look at you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong. That whole dynamic of being on the wheel of conflict, allowing that to be okay, and knowing that we always come to a consensus and we don't have to agree, except for on this one thing. We are both on the same team. Yay, team humanity. Yay, committed relationships. Yay, married committed relationships. Yay, being able to count on somebody being there for you. Yay, being able to do something for someone because they really appreciate it. Yay, to be in a space where it's appreciated and loved, where you both work on, endorse, put commitment, effort, and energy into creating a harmonious platform by which we can live our life from. It's a marvelous feeling to know that that has been the deal in my life. So unifying two of hearts. And let's go ahead and pull a saying one. What do we got? Oh, hugs. An acronym for hugs. Harmony, understanding, graciousness and sweetness. We all could use a hug. Harmony, understanding, graciousness, and sweetness. That's an 11. So that's like an illuminating idea. When we hit an 11, when we're adding in numerology, the system that I work with, reducing that 11 down to 2, like for instance, if it's your life path number, can be accurate. But I like to tell people if it's a life path number, keep that 11 because 11 is illumination. And instead of the 2, which is very supportive, when you have an 11 as a life path number and you do not reduce it down to the 2, it means that you're a double 1, a double illuminator, a double showing you, right? So what that feels like when you're around someone that has that illuminating energy, that 11 energy, is they will do something like this to you. Instead of coming down and asking you, are you okay? They may open themselves up to receiving the fact that you may want to come and talk to them. All right. So that's the difference I just pointed out between the 2 of support and the illumination of the 11. When someone has to ask you a question or they want to be in your presence, they will make an entrance via texting or calling or knocking on your door or writing you a letter or telepathic communication. That all works too. Or you just synchronistically run into them and the conversation ensues. Illumination versus the 2 energy, which would cause, and I'm using myself as an example, because a lot of us are highly intuitive and empathic and can feel things all the time, all around us. And there's a lot of that going on. I used to feel that something was happening and I would go down and find someone, knock on their door, not physically, but you get the idea. And then I would ask, are you okay? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'm finding it's a lot more efficient to have people discover who they are um, while they are in my flow, not when I'm in their flow. Meaning they have to allow, there's that aspect. They have to be willing to allow the awareness. I used to give a lot of unsolicited, unasked for, wisdom and love and all of that. And I still do that. But professionally, when I'm working, I set new boundaries. That's all. So if that's an interesting little nugget for any of you that tend to step down because you're empathic and you can feel so many things in other people's lives and you tend to give unsolicited advice, things that are not asked of you, and then you feel a little bit resentful or pissy, that just lets you know that you're more of an illuminator and you need to just stand in your authority and you can just be aware and notice that someone's having a challenge and you don't have to speak about it. They don't have to know that it's you directly that understand the challenge and that it's you that can help them unravel that. It's a lot of unnecessary actions. So I honor that I'm aware of a lot of things that are happening in people's lives, especially if they're in my space and my place. And while I used to allow that to impact me, I'm getting so much more fluid about that. I love it. So we got those 2. Here is right before me another number card, 8 of hearts. So if we were to add our 2 of hearts and our 8 of hearts, we got a 10 of hearts. And 10 is dealing with large groups, but also 10 can be reduced down to 1. So initiating new heart contracts, initiating new heart compassions. Most importantly, for yourself first, definitely for yourself. Keep yourself in the formula. Don't exclude yourself. Don't exclude yourself. Keep yourself in the formula. You're part of the mix. Originating, creating new heart compassion contracts with yourself and with your circle of influence, which includes family, friends, and people that have shown presence in your life. From the mailman to the bus driver to the clerks that work at the store that you have, relationships with in terms of hi. And sometimes, how's your family and how was your vacation? Those are people that have added presence to my life. And so those present givers, I acknowledge by a hey, by remembering that they remembered something, by the casual conversations. For me in my life, that's super important. Third card, it's a saying. Laughter and play every day is leading the new way. Laughter and play every day is leading the new way. I do my best to laugh as much as possible, and especially when I've gotten way too serious. The ability to bring up some laughter, kind of the laughter where you want to pee your pants a little bit. Yeah, it's a great skill and a great tool. And it's also a 9. So you can end a lot of stuff. Hey, somebody just walked in. It's Peggy. We can end a lot of stuff by just allowing ourselves to chill out and laugh. Isn't that true, Miss Peggy?
Oh, yes. Very much so.
And now,
Well,
yeah, got to laugh. Go, amen to the laughter.
yes.
We got some background stuff going on now for just a
Yes.
minute. So like I'm doing the card reading. So if you got something to add to it as I pull them up, then you can say something,
Oh.
okay?
I'd love to.
That was laughter and play every day is now leading the new way. So that's what I
I
was saying.
love it.
I know it's a good thing.
That's a good card.
That's a good
good
card,
card,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, to get that smile on the face.
Yes.
It's so important. Even if you have to look silly a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, you're good. And if you want to have some more water, there's some more water back there. Mm-hmm. Okay, 7 of spades. You know how I am about the reflection thing. So, and I actually am a 7 of spades. That's my life path number. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I'll have to look yours up again. I don't remember.
No,
I don't remember
but 7
anything
is,
until I look it up.
my-
7's a powerful number.
number.
Is that your son?
But my address too and stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a powerful number.
And it's about reflection, but it's also kind of like the hangman. You think about that. So if we don't reflect long enough, sometimes we hang ourselves
There you go.
because we just don't learn from our lessons. And then they cut. You thought you were good, then they come around again, go whoop, whoop. Like, oh, okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
That's the only purpose of 7. I'm going to lift up this water for Miss Peggy because it's heavy. Hold on one second. You can just see. You can see by my outfit. Sparkle. You can hear my voice down here. Here, I can fill up her water while she's sitting. You want to fill it up? Yeah, let's do it. And actually, I'm so proud of you. You're getting better at the hydrating because last time, you've been last few times I've seen you like, you had a coffee.
Yeah.
You had a coffee with some good stuff in it or something.
Yeah.
Some
But you know what? I just
soda
do the
water or
hydration.
whatever. You did what?
I do hydrate a lot.
Here's
Got
that.
to.
That's better.
Yes. Way better.
Drink that
Thank
whole
you.
thing.
Oh, you know. By the end of the day, it will be gone.
See, and I started doing keeping the water bottle out. And for all of you that, are not good at that hydrating, at least keep the water bottle in easy access. And so when you do decide to take a drink, you don't have to go find the water. I mean, there's that subtle self-sabotage that we do to ourselves. There's that 7 energy, like, oh, so if I just carry some water with me, I'll be good. Yeah, it keeps it simple.
Yeah. Instead
of getting off the freeway going, I'm thirsty. We do that.
Very true. I keep water in my car.
Yeah. I mean, because our bodies are, 80% water. So it's like our cells need, everything needs some water. And we're going through a time where things are pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just need to kind of like let things flow.
Yes.
And know when the flow, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's good for everything.
It's
in
good
your
for everything.
organs and everything.
It's absolutely
very
good.
good.
And you start to notice, when you haven't been hydrating.
Yes.
And then you start to hydrate. You might pee a little bit more just because your body's not used to that. But that levels off. It doesn't last forever.
That's very true. We
digress slightly, but you know what? It's okay. Let's see. We've got 2 more cards. So let's do, this is a number 1. Oh, let's do this Hato card. What is it? I started using the Dr. Emoto water crystal. So whatever it says on here, if you put your drink, your beverage on the crystal imprint, the water absorbs the energy of the crystal imprint and then it takes it into you. I know some stuff sounds incredulous, but I must say that I've been creating tinctures for about 25 years. So you can take my word for it. You don't have to. But if you feel like you've got something that you want to balance, and you want to create a tincture for yourself, here's what you do. I mean, you can use these cards. I've got these, not necessary. Everybody likes nature and flowers. If you've got a garden, go take some snapshot pictures of your flowers and all those things growing. Laminate that. Take your health and beauty aids, your water, your tea, and put them on the imprint. 15, 20 minutes is all you need. And then drink your water. I know. See, who knew? Okay, let's see what the Hado is. Oh, love and thanks. It's a power imprint. Love and thanks. So if you don't know about Dr. Emoto, he has passed on the other side. However, he had a company that would take the water, pray on it. He did some experiments with it and shifted the whole body of water. When people would gather together and pray, they take some snapshots of the water prior to the praying and the holding of the hands, snapshot of the water crystal, and then they would do their thing, and then they would take snapshots of the crystal after the praying or the meditation. The beauty of the crystal was amazing from before and after. So that demonstrates, that's one example. I get you. But in this whole book and his whole life, he's demonstrated the power of thought and how thought really is a thing. And you can harness that. You can harness that into your products. So he had a visual interpretation of that. That's what this is. And you should come see me if you want to learn how to do that because it's a really cool thing. We do that a lot here with the store with the stones. I'm always making some kind of water with the different stones because I work in a store where there's a whole bunch of stones, but you know that, right? Okay. Let's see what our last one is, and then we're gonna close. I think we've been probably about 20 minutes or so. That's what we got. There's that 7 again. And this is from
7.
I know, and this is from my number oracle deck. That's a regular playing deck, and I just put my little Stoffu lady on there, 7 of diamonds. So for the collective, this idea of honoring your wisdom. Don't just give it lip service, because I know what lip service is. Honor your wisdom, and then it's about the diamonds. So that's really about value. So a lot of us are shifting the things that we really value. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Yeah, I think so. I think just collectively, as a lot of things are falling away, things that no longer work, you got to stop for a second, take a breath, and then look behind you and go, nope, I'm definitely done with that. You know what? But the rest of you can come on. That's what I'm talking about. Don't make it too challenging, but we all have situations in our life where we need to reflect, stop. And if you start to notice how you give yourself many opportunities to stop and reflect, and you think it's just kind of happenstance, no, 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 no. That's your innate wisdom. That's your higher mind. Pay attention to it. I think I'm going to close now. All right. I say, have a great day, right? You're it and a bag of chips. And I love all of you as I love me. Okay. I'll see you soon. I'm going to go ahead and take the phone out of my little Pivo. One last smiling face. Okay. And we're going to end. See you later.